morning. Ooh, I just washed my face. You know when you wash your face and then it gets all tight and dry? Oh my god, is this olive oil? Hold on. Yes. Guys, I just have to. Okay, well, yesterday was such a journey, let me tell you. Ooh. I don't know what. I think I cried more yesterday than I have had. Something got triggered between... Okay, and also let me preface by saying, folks, this is someone... The person who had sent me this email was a client. I do know more. Like, there's a lot that I know on the back end. So, most of you were quite kind, but like, not saying that others weren't, but just a reminder that this is like a very real person. I know more of the back end. They do have supports in place. Like, they have family members that are very well aware of what's occurring. And they do have doctors. And this is a very cyclical type of condition. And I know at some point that they were doing well, that the supports that were in place at that time. But like anything, and that's why I just ask for like a lot of compassion right now for this person. But yes, holy moly. But I do a lot of acupressure points and a lot of somatic work. So I don't know if it was like a combination of like some pressure points, somatic work that coincided with this person sending that email. But like from the time I finished that little reading or like video yesterday, I took a bath, cried. Like basically it's just like the water could not stop coming out of my body. It wasn't even like, when you're like moose dry heaving through the forest, like, none of that. It was just like nose, eyes, and then walked to get that big coffee, tears. Went saw my tree, stood around that parking lot, like in the industrial section, tears. It was wild. What a release. And it something shifted yesterday, 100%. I even said by my tree in that parking lot with the big field, I was like, what is different about today? Like, why today? Like something momentous happened yesterday. I don't quite know what. And thank you for your kind words as always. And yes, I'm very well aware of the fact that at the end of the day, I'm not responsible for people and their choices. I really do. I stand on that business. But as someone who has, when I say mental health struggle, I really mean it. I have been in these places. Most of my closest people, like bipolar, schizoid, the schizoid spectrum, like these are kind of like the most common in my friends and family. Like psychosis. I had a roommate a long time ago that like went into full-blown psychosis when I was the only one home. Like these are things that are very familiar and very near and dear to my heart. That's why I say like there's no shame, there's no stigma here. And even like with suicidal ideation, I have been deeply suicidal in my life and I've lost people to suicide. So like these things are very important to me. And as mentioned, when there's children involved, like the parent in me, it's just like, there's just ways of, these things are just delicate. And we live in a really flippant world. And I think sometimes we can go a little bit too extreme in our, like, yes, inherently I'm not responsible, but I am responsible in the ways that I either react or respond. The words that I use, like, and for the content, like as soon as I realized the reading, and because I know more, like I know about this person's like life and circumstances, I was like, oh my God, for someone having a chemical imbalance, shall we lightly say, like that reading Like, I understood. I was like, oh my God. And I'm not responsible for that, but I just was like, oh, we can't make assumptions that everyone that's taking in our content sometimes has the capacity to fully, I don't know. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. But then I went to the gym, and again, well, yesterday was Tuesday, which is ruled by Mars. So again, if you want to be productive and get into that Aries doer, action-oriented energy, Tuesdays, or be physical. But whenever I have a really big stress cortisol response, and I'm already very kinetic, I did have a lot of sugar before the gym, I want to see. It wasn't 3 pastries. I was a bit of a gross boy. I won't tell you my secret treats. That would make me real sicko. But suffice to say, sugar did enter the bloodstream, plus all that cortisol and upset. And I just rode and ran. Like, again, it was just like tears came out of every pore of my body. Like, I'm already a heavy sweater. Again, pitta is my constitution. I'm fire. So, like, when it's minus 40, like, I'm always sweating. It's why I don't wear mitts. Like, you can hold my hand. Actually, that's not true. If I get stressed out, sometimes I get really cold now. It's, I think, an older age thing. So fucking weird. And that's why I have to put fucking string on my ring, because I'm either too hot and then it's wicked tight, and I keep it on a string, so if it gets wicked tight and I can't take it off and it feels like it's stuck and I'm gonna scream, I can cut it off. But then when I'm really cortisol stressed out and maybe haven't slept the best, I get really cold now. And so yeah, I have to have a stupid string to keep my ring on. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Here we are. But, oh yeah, so I did the gym. Incredible. And then I always have, it's about an hour and 25 minutes to get home walking. But again, delicious snowstorm last night, and I gotta say, this city can drive me nuts babazzo, but it is so beautiful. I have so much history here. Actually, this city, to be honest, historically has always been my mental health crisis city. I always have the biggest struggles here. So it's just funny, not funny, but to be like, I think it's why it's just so near and dear to my heart. Like, I know these struggles, folks, and it's just not something to take light. Okay, on that note, I brought out the Kimmy K's. Oh yeah, but sorry, the walk home though, can we talk about it? I was just standing, again, just taking in a moment. And then fucking fireworks. There's no reason to be fireworks yesterday too. Like, I don't believe yesterday was a holiday, was it? Oh, or no. Is it the Chinese New Year? No, is that February? Oh, yeah, I really don't think there was any reason. Right place, right time. Yeah, it was like the final release. Yeah, tears coming out of my body. I was dripping. Guys, I have my first actual psychology class today. I picked 7. Ooh, I've got some really interesting ones, but in terms of like psych prerequisites, today's the first one. Very excited. I still think I'm gonna have to defer till September because I don't even think I'm gonna get the student loan. It's complicated. It's okay, because spring is when I can apply for my grants and bursaries. That was the biggest holdup. Quebec is the only province where you don't get the federal student loan. Oh, don't get me started. This is why I say, like, I love this province with all of my heart, but, oh, fuck, she's a mean mistress. But suffice to say, I'm still gonna go to my classes for as long as I can, just because I fucking love learning. Anyway, I talked to my son this morning. A surprise called me. Oh, that's the shit that'll always make me cry, too. Oh, I love my son so much. Yeah, see, that's why the parent in me, like, when if there's anything to do with children, it also distresses me. So, like, that's where I'm very serious about also tact and delicacy in addressing things. Okay. Grandmama. No. You know what's so funny? My eyes have and I've said this before, and I don't know how to describe it. It sounds so fucked. My eyes are getting worse, and they're pretty bad. Like, I definitely need glasses, but I have always seen better technically without my glasses. I know, it's an oxymoron, and it's a bit of a conundrum for me. Okay, okay. Grandmama. Yeah, yesterday that walk home was a total vibe. Oh, I love winter. I love winter. Okay, crowd favorites. We need everybody on board. Oh yeah, I was also just crying because, like, the state of the world, I just don't know how we can't look at the world and not just weep every single moment. Yeah, there's a lot of things. What a release, guys. If you have not, I needed that. That was needed. That was needed. I fully have said I have not had time to process certain things. That was needed. That felt incredible. They kiss. Oh shit. This is the whole problem right now. Limerence. Okay, spirit team. Oh yeah, we didn't call you in. God, Jesus, Grandma, Buddha, archangels, all ascended masters, the flame. Okay, spirit, you're not helping the fucking matter here, but whatever. We're just gonna go with it. Ooh, you know what? I really do. I'm only speaking to myself. Jesus. I'm only speaking to myself when I say this, so don't get fussy, because I've said it before, and I really mean it. We don't need to subscribe to the same beliefs. You can call your God whatever you want to call it. Like, I just draw the line of the devil and, like, evil. But, like, any God of a God is a God to me. Like, I'm not here to, my God is better than your God. Like, I hate the term twin flame. I've spoken about it before. Oh my God, the eternal child. These always looks like my little boy's hands. Oh, you know when babies, I know most people don't love babies. I do. Those little fat feet and those little fat hands, and you just kiss them. You grab those little toes. It's just like snouts, you know, and like kitty chops. There's just something about snouts, chops, little fat feet, and those little baby hands. Oh, it's so funny. My son's mom, and I get it, different ages, there's different age groups that can be really fun for people and not, so I get it. But I think babies are just rad. Like, I love babies. I used to take my son out in his bassinet first thing in the morning when we were living in Saskatchewan. And I had my garden, and yeah, and I'm a morning person. I'd usually do the night shift with my son. So when the sun would pop up, oh man, we'd go out to the garden, and then we'd listen to Buena Vista Social Club. He loved it. And he was so serious as a baby. He would just, like, with his little hawk eyes, just watch. Yeah, and then I'd spray all my tomato plants, and then the butterflies would come. Oh, just magic. Okay, I digress. Okay, I'm gonna take, ooh, I just saw this sun as an eye. Eye of the sun. But this sun, eye of the sun. And, okay, but twin flame, my son's a Gemini. Oh my God, he has so much Gemini. I prayed. I was like, oh, spirit team. I was open to a Taurus. Don't think that I wasn't. I was, at minimum, because I'm a cusper. I was like, God, at minimum, though. Because I was like, Taurus, you love your creature comforts. And, like, for a Gemini dad, like, where I'm like, I love movement and quickness and adventure. That was my only concern. Not that I didn't want a Taurus. I would have just loved the shit out of my Taurus son. Anyway, first day of Gemini, but like his 5 major placements, it's incredible. He's so magical. But anyways, because I'm hearing twin flame, but yeah, my son's a Gemini, so it's just the twin. Oh, and not in a creepy way, but I'm telling you, I love kissing cheeks. Oh, yeah, my son's the cutest. Okay, I just had to have a moment there. Okay. Eye of the Sun. I love that. Because even if it's spelled I, or even I love anything lyrical or poetical. So, loving where this is going. Okay, why don't we just... Wait, Spirit, you want more? The seed and the gem. Yeah, there's something here again about, like, Gemini. Does someone have a Gemini child? And the thread to self. Eye of the Sun. And I wanted to say like the sin, like I was like thinking to myself, like saying to spirit, like the sin, like are we going kind of also like in the sins of the father? Like there's something here about progeny, but I feel like specifically, so for like my men in the crowd, this does feel like a father-son relationship, very specific. So again, folks, don't try to make this fit. If you don't have children, and especially if you don't have a son, I am the son. And I'm hearing both, like, yeah, like the son, that's so, but this I is surrounded by the Bardo, but I feel like this is the generations, right? So kind of like in the sins of the sins of the father. I have the son. Okay. Spirit, do you want the thread to solve? Okay. Oh, eye of the sun. But also we come from spirit. So spirit's our father as well. Mother, I always like to say though, mother, father, God. Not that I also believe in gender, but do you know what I mean? Eye of the sun. Oh, either way, just, I'm telling you, maybe it's not grabbing anyone else by the short and curlies, but right now it's really, where did I just put my daft? Oh, there it is. It's, yeah. My son does also have the most beautiful eyes. Oh, I wish the internet wasn't a little bit creeps, so that, I mean, I know people do share photos of their children on the internet. I am not of that mind. Oh, fuck, man, he is magic. He is so magic. I honestly, like, every day, I'm always just like, it feels like a real honor to get to be his dad. True to God. And to God. Yeah, I have the son. Okay, the kiss. 185. Well, let's read and explore. But I do feel like if you're a dad with a son, although this is getting romantical, so like, again, let's not confuse things. Let's not take it anywhere creepy. Like, this is, let's just get all the information. The touch, the chemistry, the sex. Before a first kiss, the air is electrified. Each breath is alive with possibility and magic. What will their lips be like? Their tongue? Do they want me in return? The archetypal energy of the kiss is a heightened sensation of merging with other, of letting in what was moments ago separate to become one. It is risky, but beautiful business. Oh, and I love that line too. Every time, I always forget about it until I get to that line, and every time I read that line, I have the same response. It is risky, but beautiful business. Fuck. Kim Kranz. But you know what? Old Kimmy K, Taurus. I do love my Tauruses, guys. Oh, and you know what? I keep thinking, and I always forget to say it, but Capricorns. Hello, Capricorns in the clouds, your crowd, it's your season. And you know what? I fucking love Capricorns. I fucking love them. You guys are funny as fuck. Like, you're not known for your humor. It's not like the first thing. It's always like work and business, but like, you kind of be a cool cucumber. But you guys, and you know what gets me? What's straight to my little heart? Je t'aime. Humor. Fuck yeah, you guys. Okay. Yeah, it's beautiful business. These moments forever change us, and we move past the solitary self toward union and acceptance. This card suggests true intimacy is around the corner, which requires bravery and surrender. When the kiss takes a non-human form, it may be experienced as touching the sacred. Obviously, like, that to me is like, my son feels really sacred to me. Children do. Like, I'm a protector. I'm not great at protecting myself, but like, when it comes to other human beings, but like kids, animals, elderly. That's why, like, when the nursing home or the elderly condo living place for my old cutie patootie, like that day that I showed up and all of like the nursing staff had let him just like walk around with a gaping bleeding wound on his ass, I lost my shit. Yeah, the sacred. Hearing a whisper or being graced by a divine being. You will recognize the presence of the kiss by cold chills and awakening of the heart. Yeah, I'm telling you, I could be in the deepest hatred, and then if I get out my son's sweater and I just like put it to my heart, I'm telling you, I can go from the most deep-seated hatred straight up into like angelic love. That's why I would say you got to find something to anchor into. It doesn't have to be children. I get it. Not everybody has children. Not everybody wants children. For some of you, it could be your pets. For some of you, it is an elderly person, like your grandmama, your grandpapa. Like, whoever it is, it's that type of love that, again, you know, it transcends. The first time I experienced unconditional love was with Pisces' ex-girlfriend, because when we broke up, finally, it was one of those, like, classic Leslie breakups where we broke up, we got back together. You know what? One of the best breakup / get back togethers though is that we had broken up yet again, but this time it was a bit lengthier, and in the interim I had started to date a really lovely Gemini who actually is the ex-girlfriend of the ex-boyfriend of my roommate. So funny, small world. That whatever, that's a whole Leslie story. But my point being, yeah, so Pisces ex-girlfriend, we were on what we didn't know was to be a hiatus for about 6 or 7 months. And for some reason, we both needed to renew our CPR at the exact same time, and they had gotten like a 2-for-1 deal. So they had kind of messaged me to be like, I know this is random, but like, do you want to renew your CPR with me? And then we did this CPR weekend, but we had to like pair up and like do things like chest compressions and like, you know, there's just, now, even though I was in my relationship, this is why I'm like, you know, it is possible not to cheat. Yes, there was some flirting, and I'd gone back to Pisces ex-girlfriend's place, and we hung out, and I did stay the night, but I remember they were like, even because, I don't know, queer people, it's a little bit different than the straighties. Like, we do tend to do things like, we always stay best friends, exes. That's why, like, the small pool, like, everybody knows each other. Everyone's usually dated someone. It's connected. So not what would be considered, like, straight inappropriate. But I had said, no, I need to sleep on the couch. And I said, like, there's clearly a vibe here. And if you want to get back together, I'll get back together. But I have to break up with this person first. And that was actually my best breakup to date. I was really proud because I was really nervous. I really liked this person. And actually, they were going through the breakup. We were both rebounding. They were rebounding off of the ex-boyfriend of my roommate. Yeah. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, that's CPR. Oh man, hearts and then the kiss. Yeah, if you want a little trick up the sleeve, if there's someone that you want to court and have a really fun way of flirting, CPR. But again, only as long as you know it's consensual, because that would be awkward if the person actually wasn't into you. But like, if you can, the CPR is kind of, I don't know, puts a little bounce in your step. Yeah, put a little bounce in the heart. And to date, going back to being loved the best by Pisces, and I'm not saying, guys, that the other signs are not amazing partners or kissers, but the best kisser to date was Pisces' ex-girlfriend. But I'm saying the par was already high. All of my partners, great kissers. So if you happen to see this in your no, everyone phenomenal. Pisces, you take it to a cosmological level. It's the water signs. It is like, it's cosmological. I have to give it to Pisces. You get that award, you know? Cheers. Way to go, Pisces. Exactly. Sensual expressiveness, merging, inviting. But you know what? Sorry, I'm telling stories left, right, and center. But our first kiss, thank God I did not base it off of our first kiss. our first kiss was terrible. But we were both just nervous as hell because also we had been friends for 10 years before we ever kissed. That's the thing. Oh, and you know what? I was watching this not yesterday, the day before yesterday. I stopped to get a coffee and I was watching, I think it's Cut is the channel on YouTube. Anyway, the whole thing was that best friends confessing their feeling to their best friend, and it's like set up in like a table on a set, like a table, chairs, and then like a little bit of like a bar set up on their table so that, and then questions. Oh my god. And there was 3 best friend couples. Oh, 2 out of the 3 were really into it. Oh, it was all very good, but like, oh, so interesting. Okay, there is something here. It's like on one hand, I have the sun. I have 2 different energies. There is something romantic. But that's like past energy. Oh, are you about to meet someone that you're about to have a child with who will be most likely a little boy, the sun? Like, it's important for you to have children. Like, this child is of importance. The sacred. Okay. Okay, well, either way, we're telling stories. We're having a great time. We're unraveling a mystery here. Oh, yeah, Pisces ex-girlfriend. And I met Pisces ex-girlfriend in this very city. That's the thing. It was so divinely guided. This is why, guys, if you're ever truly worried, like, I really do believe, like, we have certain key players that we've written into our script. Like, the person that you're supposed to be with next, and it's not always going to be your forever person, Like, oh yeah, unconditional love. That's what it was about Pisces ex-girlfriend. It's because when we finally broke up, oh yeah, I went on a bit of a tangent. Sorry, folks. Yeah, when we finally broke up, though, I remember realizing that I wanted them to be happy, regardless if it was contingent upon me being in their life. Like, whether we were together or not. And because of my psychicness, I dreamt about who their partner was going to be after me, and I was right. But in that, I was like, I saw that they were meant to be with someone else. But also, I've always said, like, this person is like my soul sister. Like, I love Pisces ex-girlfriend. Do I ever want to get back together? It's not about that. It's a soul sister love. And when you know that kind of love, outside of children, it's just like, when you don't want anything in return, you just want blessings for that person. And you're just so grateful that you had that time with them. Like, I'm always just grateful. And I always feel like if I ever run into them, it's just like, it's like that long lost hug of like, just like with my son too, it's just love. Yeah, okay, so we have a real Pisces Gemini thing. Again, guys, let's not get weird. The flame. 167. Someone born in 67. That would make you born in the year of rabbit. Ooh, you know which sign? Chinese sign I tend to date a lot, which is crazy because it's not in my triangle of affinity for rooster, is rat. And my son's a little rat. Oh man, is he ever. My little mouse. Yeah, my little stinky rat. Oh, the flame, the fire, the spark, the glimmer. In Sanskrit, the word for fire is Agni. Also, I may not be pronouncing it correctly, Agni. The ancient yogis saw this flame at the center of the abdomen, and believed it to be responsible for our vitality. When it is lit, we are connected to our purpose and sense that life is a sacred gift. It is said that those who cannot see the sacred amount around them have let their inner flame go out. Yeah, it's about sight. Like gratitude, the ability to see beauty, the ability to access joy. It's just about the lens that we choose to see out of, at least in my experience. Think of this card as a call to reignite that fire, to cup your hands gently around those things that you've forgotten and protect the flame. No matter how harshly the winds around you blow. It could be an inner archetype that begs you to light its wick. It is likely that the poet. Oh, yeah, and I was saying too, because I was like, Eye of the Sun. It's very lyrical. The poet, the mystic, or the shaman would call you with the language of the flame. Exactly. I do love the language of the flame. Also, speaking of how it said, no matter how harshly the winds around you blow. Okay, so I forgot because we had a couple weeks of like crazy windstorms that then also the wind chill, like it was just like minus 25 with like over 100 km/h winds, just tossing everybody. And then with ice storms, so like huge sheets of ice, you have to wear ice cramps. Like you will die without them. Because also everything in the city is kind of like San Francisco. There's some really big hills. It's, it's on a mountain. So, oh fuck, where was I going with this? We have a real story here. What the fuck? Also, guys, sometimes as a parent, I call it parent brain. I was saying this to a friend the other night. Him and I were talking. And if I also get tired to a certain point, it just goes. Old age, man. Okay, I'm gonna read. Oh, the wind. Sorry. Jesus, guys. Okay, so when we had the windstorms, I go to see this one tree. Call me crazy. It's where I like to do my walking meditation, and I like to vibe with my trees. I do. So, naturally, there is a type of wind, even with my Pitta constitution. You tend to curl in, and also if you have like bad back stuff, like you don't want to be in this, but you naturally start to tense up. And so I became aware of that. So I was like, emotionally, I feel like when I tense up, like with what I've been saying the last year through these videos, is like the worse it gets for me, the more I double down on love. I really, it's like it is the thing that I will rest and die on. No matter how bad it gets, that receipt I will not let go of. But Spirit was really like, it's actually a lot easier, I think, for people when we can visualize or actually feel things. So if you want to learn how to be emotionally or mentally agile, adaptable, and soft, like malleable but soft, because also you have to remember, like, what doesn't bend breaks. So things that are rigid, things that are hard, when there's like a point of connection, if it's too rigid, it shatters. But if you're soft, that's why even in like drunk driving accidents, most drunk drivers are fine because they're just so loosey-goosey in their bodies. So, oh my god, oh yeah, the wind. And what I noticed is that the softer I got my body, actually I felt warm. Oh, I wonder if it's because it's like the flame, but if you constrict it, yeah, the rigidity. Oh, interesting. Because I actually physically felt, even though it was fucking cold, like you naturally did. You were just like, that wind. Even for me, I was like, she is fucking frosty. Like, wind chill is such a thing in Canada. And yesterday on that walk home, it was like pretty peaceful, but then the wind started to pick up, and there was a point where I walked through one of the university properties, and it has like a direct wind tunnel. It gets blustery, but it's like if you can soften your body, and that's why I like kinetic things. It's like the mind will follow the body. So if you can train your body to do these things, to say soft when there's like high stress or uncomfortability, and really pay attention. Oh, pay like tension. Yeah, pay attention to the tension. And that's why even for me too at the gym, why I love cardio so much is because you can really focus on, because you're essentially stressing out your body, right? Like your heart's elevated, the breathing. And so you'll see with like fighters in particular, but you really focus on controlling your breathing by breathing through your nostrils. Yeah, I digress. Oh my god, this reading, chaotic. Okay. Oh yeah, health, mental clarity, good digestion, excess heat and anger, complete darkness. To enliven the connection with this archetypal energy, practice the candle gazing technique called Tratika. Notice how lighting a single candle in any space brings magic to the room and creates a sense of reverence. That is true. Remember when I talked about, oh man, you want to get the ambiance going? And yes, I know it's ambiance. I love fucking around with words, but Beyonce, she does have a vibe. Yeah, get some ambiance going in your bathroom. Elevate that bath. It just needs one candle. I'm telling you, you become like a Renaissance painting. Your skin has that warmth. Your little toes up by the knobs, soap. Everything just glistens. It looks great. Okay. Oh my god, we're at 35 minutes. But you know what I always say? You don't need to stay throughout the whole reading. If it's for you, it's for you. The Bardo. 163. Ooh, I can't wait to see what my prof is. Nothing beats a good prof. Okay, we're not going to get on a tangent. Focus. Oh, do we have some ADHDers in the crowd? I don't have ADHD, but all of my best friends and usually ex-girlfriends have Pisces ex-girlfriend, ADHD. All my best friends on this block, ADHD. Like, I know I can still be chaotic, but I'm feeling like really, oh, and like a child, actually. Yeah, because you're like a little puppy, a little chaton. Yeah, you little kitty whiskers when you're just pouncing around. I like that. Okay, the Bardo. Ooh, this is so random. Do some of you have the last name Lombardo? Okay, my Italians. Where are you? Okay. It is said that the Bardo is a place between this life and the next, a liminal realm through which souls pass. Envisioning this inherently mysterious space creates the potential for us to rise above the concerns of this world and see, the concerns of this world. Okay, yes, rising above. Sorry, I just had my own moment. And see our relationships through a cosmic and timeless lens. We may receive messages from those who are no longer with us, grandmama, cheers, or see visions of lives not yet lived. In the Bardo, there is potential to forgive the unforgivable. Yes, and actually, speaking of the flame, I love going to meditation groups at night where they do, sometimes, like, most Buddhist temples, there's candles going at the altar, but it doesn't usually happen at night. But if you can go to a meditation and have like a couple candles going, oh, I'm telling you, I've forgiven more people in that type of meditation. Yeah, highly recommend. To say the unsaid, to see the unseen, to love the unloved, to let go of all, oh, I got all shaky there. To let go of all the things that cause us pain. The Bardo suspends us in its spaciousness for just long enough to open us to higher wisdom. Its energy does not belong to Earth as we know it, but rather to the cosmic network of which we are a single thread. Guys, and it's right underneath the flame. Oh, just beautiful. God damn, I don't even think we're gonna pull tarot cards. Yeah, by the time I read through the last three, like, we'll call it, but like, this is beautiful. Spaciousness, grace, forgiveness, truth. The eye of the Father. The sins of the Father. Okay, the eternal child. I love this. Even if it's just to give us like a bone to chew on throughout the day. Like, not everything needs to be direct and spoon-fed. Like, either way, I'm moved. I'm gonna be thinking of the eye of the sun for a while. The eternal child. 69, Cancer energy. The eternal child is connected to the timeless, ageless, and infinite aspects of life. It is radiant and fearless and seeks joy above all else and at any cost. It struggles being bound to an aging body with physical limitations in a world that demands attention and detail and logistics. Yeah, like, you know how I was like hopping around? Yeah, because that's also part of our innermost being. Schools are not really geared towards children. P.S. Like, ADHD my ass. Like, it's like, again, trying to rally up 800 cats and puppies and kittens, you know? Like, it's chaotic, but it's beautiful. The eternal child wants to nix all rules and responsibilities and go beyond what others say is possible. Exactly. It wants to return with plenty of friends to the land of the free, where divine wine and creativity pour from the earth and sky. We all want to sip from the well of eternal youth, and this makes the eternal child naturally popular, perhaps even famous. The eternal child glimmers. It reminds us of what is possible, what is magical about this precious life. Yes, joyful, playful, accepts all, magic. Yes. I'm 100% an eternal child. Like, I am. I think we can all agree. Like, can I be all business? Absolutely. And again, you guys don't really get to see my resting bitch face or like when bullshit's going down. And like a Gemini, I adapt to my environments. Like, I'm not always throwing F-bombs. I can tell you right now, like, this is not going to be me as a therapist. This is like off hours, off duty, you know, kitty whiskers sitting in his home, just, you know, I don't know, whatever. Celebrity culture is based heavily on this archetype, as is the phrase, live hard, die young, and the series of artists and musicians who died at 27. The thread. You know what? I might have to do a part 2. I want to get Snoopy and Scoopy. I know, I got chatty. It's my own fault. 205. Yum, yum, yum. The thread, the path, the vein, the circuit. Life is a tangle. I just love that as an opener too. Life is a fucking tangle. A tangle, like, oh, it's like coat hangers. Sometimes, you know, when those little bad boys get all tangled, oh, make me scream. 8 million. Life is a tangle. So much happens simultaneously and circuitously, leaving us grappling for meaning and direction in a network of distractions. When we connect to the energy of the thread, however, we strike the deepest vein in the body. Our whole being responds to its tug. Meaning is pumped through our bloodstream. Our mind and spirits are lifted. We remember who we are and what we came into this world to do. Though this happens on the most profound level, it could be the simplest incident that activates the thread, a song, an image, a conversation heard in passing. No matter how confusing and multi-layered our modern lives become, if we are connected to the thread, we are free. Being tethered to it is the only anchor our hearts require. So true. But I feel like the thread, like I feel like these 3, well, all of them, I wish I could show you, but you know what I mean? But this is really also like, and I literally, like, in my daily meditations, I use very specific words. But the word that I love to work with is joy. Like, and I do. And when I was a kid, the Care Bear that I had was Sunshine Bear, the yellow one with the big sun. And it's funny because even though I'm on the cusp of cancer and I do have a bit of cancer on the chart, like sun energy, and I work with the most. And that's why like gods like Apollo really appeal to me. Apollo's like my jam. And also because Apollo was a twin. Artemis? Or no, that was just a sister. He does have a very twin vibe though with Artemis. Okay, I digress. Look at us. Yeah, it's this childlike energy. And also because my son, with his 5-time Gemini, we have what's called pillow talk. He loves chatting. Oh my God. Him and I can talk. He can out-talk me. Oh man. He's such a little kitty. He's just the best. There you are. Yeah, there you are. The self. Which one? 119. Yeah. The soul, the witness, the watcher. The self is the prism that allows excuse me, it's like every time I come to do these readings, because yeah, I talked to my son and a friend this morning. I've been busy talking, and I was mostly just listening, so it's not even like I was doing a lot of talking, but my voice was not doing this. The self is the prism that allows the spectrum of our personalities to radiate. It does not judge, prohibit, suppress, or oppress any of its parts, as it lovingly knows that all aspects have a time and a place, and leads us to experience the full breadth. Yeah, okay, why is my voice going? Why does this have to do? Who can't talk? And leads us to experience the full breadth of life's offerings. The self is a central abiding container, the awareness of the infinite universe of possibilities. Also, sorry, I'm getting a download. Again, this ADHD mind, someone is drinking too many energy drinks. P.S. Spirit really had to come through on this, but like I can feel it, like this buzzing. But also, I think you do have ADHD, but also, technically, yeah, these energy drinks are not helping, and there's too many. Like, even one a day is too many, but, like, I think you're drinking, like, a liter, or, like, 5 to 6. Spirit is, like, hold the phone. You're drinking too many energy drinks? Okay. When this card appears, it's a call to step back into witness consciousness. Oh, yeah, because also, like, when you're buzzing, it is really challenging. So maybe, oh yeah, because I'm being shown the kinetic thing, or things like walking meditation. I can understand sitting meditation isn't for everybody, but there's something here about grounding. And Spirit is saying, for one, you need to cut back on some stimulants here, but to engage in some kind of kinetic activity that is mindful, so that you can connect to the self. Because it's hard to connect to like inner joy. This flame. It's a call to step back into witness consciousness, to observe yourself navigating the world. Ask yourself, am I the stew or am I the chef? In most situations, our ego draws us into the cauldron where we swirl, spin, and smolder in chaos. Yet the self is a graceful culinary dancer, watching, waiting, observing, as the spectrum of ingredients becomes the flavor of our life. Look in the mirror for 30 seconds or more. Attempt to see the you behind the you. Because even after I just put that message through, it's like the energy has come down significantly. If this card is perplexing for you, you are on the right track. It challenges us to expand our sense of identity beyond the little self, and the ego resists such movement. Well, resist, and again, going back to constricts, there's something, again, like being when we're closed off and also tense. And even from like a biomechanics, yeah, like if you know much about osteopathy or like the biomechanics of body, it's easier kind of to see with a different shirt, but you kind of see here, if you're pulling, if there's an injury or something happening over here, it pulls on things like fascia, okay, whatever, body mechanics, but it's going more to the emotional landscape of like constriction, rigidity, but it pulls on things. But when we look at this, but I also then see it like an openness, yeah, just like those trees, just like we teach kids when you work with those little peanuts and you tell them, get your hands in the air like the trees. Let's all be a tree right now, folks. Can I get an amen? Amen. Oh, 50 minutes. Okay, can we get a one tarot card? One tarot card, Grandmama, to close. Okay, I think I might have to do a part 2. I don't expect anyone to join me on this. I'm curious. Grandmama. Wow, the Hierophant. And I was just thinking, this is like a bone to chew on today. But the Eye of the Father. And going back to that whole, like, what was that biblical thing? You know, when you see through the eye of the needle? Kingdom of Heaven. Eye of the Sun. Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely more here. Yeah, and like part 2, the twin. Apollo and Artemis. The archer. And basically, I don't know. Apollo, he loved that little chariot up in the sky. Yeah, and the lyre. Yeah, musician. Apollo's great. If you don't know much about Apollo, even just for a fictional sense, if you don't believe in like real gods and goddesses, but still just like the traits, the characters, that sun energy. Tap into that inner joy. Okay, wait. I'm seeing a card needs to go on the left, a card needs to go on the right. Okay, so we have the Hierophant. Yeah, because we have 2 people here. Eye of the Sun. Okay, Grandma, what's going on the left? The 3 of Cups. Okay. Well, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of like Trinity stuff here. Oh my God. Wait. Oh, sorry. 4 of Pentacles. Oh yeah, see? Look. It's this. And we want to see how it's, again, be like the trees. What did I just say? Get your hands up in the air like you just don't care. Let's be trees, motherfuckers. Yeah, exactly. And it's just the 3 of you. It's like you, your inner child. Oh, is this about the inner child? I am the sun. Oh God. Okay, well, you know what, guys? I actually have a lot of time to think about this. I might do the part 2, because also it's like when I rewatch the videos sometimes, I get more, again, distance. So I'm gonna have a full day to think about this. I usually come up with, and I'm sure there'll be more downloads. I have the sun, but inner child too. Oh, there's so much here. That's funny. Okay, well, kitty whiskers. Let's all have a really great day today, please. Yeah. And ask yourself, I don't know, what about today? Like, why today? What's changed today? Yeah, that was like, and something did. And then I asked my spirit team about it, and we had a good talk. But then, you know what's so funny? Oh my God, am I insane? No, it's right here. Is that for all that emotion, that's why, like, gotta remember, feelings aren't facts. They're valid because you're experiencing them and it feels real. But like, not all feelings are facts, because this is where it also gets a little bit, it branches off a little bit, because then like there's psychic feeling, but then there's like emotional feeling, and I feel like that's where it's like a little bit of a separate conversation. But in terms of my emotional, and that's why I'm like, what a difference a day can make, right? Because 1 second you can kind of be hysterical and spinning out, and then you wake up the next day and you're like, what was that about? But it was like, yeah, I had just crying my eyes out, crying out of my pores at the gym. And then, like a classic Gemini, processed all those intense emotions over, but like by the time I was done at the gym and walking home, then I was like, you know what? I always love when I get to that place of being like, it doesn't really matter. We're all just a fart in the breeze at the end of the day. Like, when we die, like, none of this, it does matter, but it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, there is no point. We just come here to learn. It is the great play, the great dream, you know? I'm hearing that song, sung by Mama Cass, Dream a Little Dream of Me. Let's not get limerent. I'm just going to try to use a little bit more humor with it to be like, but address it to be like, guys, we can come as you are, come with all of your, we're all struggling, we all have things going on, everyone's welcome, but like, we got to use humor at times to address the real things. So I will always address it with tact and delicacy, but I also believe in humor to be like, gentle reminder. Okay, I gotta go. Stay blessed, stay golden.